Japanese flags. I guess nobody would understand. Whenever a tank was built, whenever the Japanese were building something, they would sign a flag together. There were battlement groups. On some of those flags, each flag was basically the representation of about, well, each one of those people would be a person that was, the flags were basically, if you built a tank together, you would sign a flag, and one person would basically, each flag represents about 12 people that were killed by American soldiers. Like I said, or I mean the United States people, usually shot in the back. Like I said, most of the time what they would do to the Japanese is they would walk up and they would go, and they'd be like, yeah, yeah, blah, 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 and they'd go, and they would shoot all the Japanese in the back. They'd be like, yeah, just a minute. I just need to radio this in. And then, like I said, or they'd be like, yeah, yeah, we need to take your weapons for a minute. We need to do inspections. Take all their guns. And once they have the guns, the Americans, the United States people would be like, okay, shoot them. That's what they would do. Like I said, those Japanese did not die with honor. They died after the supposed, they were called Yankees for a reason. They would take people in saying, anyway, they would poison them or they would shoot them in the back. They would kill them. There was no honor with those people that you say, those people that say, he never talk about the war. I said, don't you think it's time to take the flag home? They would say they told their dad. And then, no, I can't. You know why, of course. Well, the thing is they killed all the family. They killed whole towns. There probably aren't any families left of those people. Like, usually a flag would represent, like for instance, if you were in a town or whatever, you would sign a flag, all of you, and then you would put it up in your town. And that flag would represent every person that was in that town or in that village. So when the soldiers came in, and sometimes if they had to evacuate the town, they would take the flag, and that flag would have the names of every single person that was in that town or in that group. And there would sometimes be 5 flags to a group, and one person would carry the flag. So there'd be some memory or some name of the people that were with that person. Anyway, they killed those Japanese, took the flags, and they actually burned a lot of the flags. I'm surprised they kept any of the flags. When they took surrenders, they're supposed to keep the flags and the people, so they could open up the flags and say, yeah, okay, I got all the people in that flag group. They'd call them flag groups, because there'd be a group of people and a flag. Anyway, there's a reason why they didn't talk about the war. There's a reason why those people didn't talk about what they did. I'd say Nixon and Richard Nixon and other people would be like, they'd say things like they were serving their country, or doing their country proud, or a vital effort to the war effort. No. They're stealing. They're no good, stealing, thieving, low-down piece of shit small people. Some of them were actually in war against the black, though. What the black were doing to the Japanese people and other people was far, far worse than anything the Americans did. You know, they'd cut off tubes and penises and all that other stuff. Like I said, there were... Like, I'm serious, the black people, they would cut off a man's penis and then put it in a frying pan and heat it up and be like, here's your lunch. What the black were doing to people was like, over anything that the Yankees, they just stole. The black people, well, they would do some really fucked up. They'd be like, hold on a second. Watch this. You know, that's what they would do. They would take it to the next level. The black had no decency and no respect whatsoever. I'm not even kidding. They would, like I say, what Mr. Brown would do is that he would make the children kill their own mother and their own father. Anyway, like I say, there's a very good reason why basically I was like, anyway, I moved with such power and such whatever that, well, you know. Anyway, that's why there'd be lots of times when JFK or one of the other people were talking to me saying, please, please, no, no, you know, or something like that. Or I didn't do anything, I didn't do anything. I'd be like, you had your chance. I'm sorry. It's a little late for that now. And the door would close. And you would hear the screaming from down the hall. And the exoskeleton would stand out in front, just watching them. Just sitting there sensing. And then it would walk away. And they would just be sitting there going... for hours, days, weeks, years. I'm not exactly sure. It was a long time. Anyway, we found out exactly how far we could push the human body and exactly what they could do. Like I said, in the end, you'd go up to them, pick up their thing, and they'd all just drool coming out. Like I said, afterwards, I felt kind of bad. I was like, you know, maybe I was a little hard on them. I did just kind of like snap my fingers and they were basically taken care of. And whisked away too far away. 100 trillion light years that way. Somewhere off that way. Or somewhere over there. Anyway, some people would say I was vicious or cruel. But, you know, they're going to kill me anyway. So, I was like, oh well. Anyway, it was, like I said, it was about 1,000 people that I really punished really hard, and more like 5 trillion or 250 trillion. There were an extended 500 trillion, but I was like, there can't be that many people involved. I'm sorry. So I kind of cut it down to, and kind of narrowed it down to about 1,000 people that I really, seriously. And then after a while, after about 120 years, I was like, I think it's over. I'm done with this. I wasn't getting payback or anything like that. I was just simply finding out, testing out the limits of what the human body could take, what the human mind could take. Testing my life forms. I do it normally. It's just I don't usually use pain and everything else. And this time I was like, and it was mostly like my exoskeletons that were really doing it. They were just following my orders. Anyway, like I say, I didn't do normal thieves and more normal people like that. No. No, most people just die. They live their life and then they die. That's it. It was only the special people like JFK and a few of the other people that went above and beyond. Like, there's messed up and there's cruel and mean, and then there's what they did. Like there's the normal range of what people do, and then there's what these other special people did, and that was beyond. Anyway, so yeah, you know. Anyway, afterwards I felt bad, I admit. You know, because I mean, it's not like I stapled a sign to the wall and said blah 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 blah. But then again, I mean, people did say no. They were told, you know, you really shouldn't be doing this. I mean, they knew deep down inside. That's why I added that little thing inside of you that says you shouldn't be doing this, because, like, you know, I mean. And even afterwards, when I got captured, I was like, you will be punished if you disobey me and disobey my things, because I already did it. You know, it can't be stopped. Even if I die, it won't stop. It will happen no matter what, until every last one of them is killed, which is almost impossible to do. Some of them will never die. They're really tough. Anyway, they regarded some of my exoskeleton as basically nearly unkillable. Wandering the galaxy.